Cock-a-doodle-doo. It's day 52. Am I right, chickens?
Who's ready to go see what kind of mischief we can get into today?
Well, good morning again, Hoopty Army. It is old Big Mike back out here in the Hoopty Barn again with the old Blue Goose, 31 Plymouth. And we've been working on brakes and fuel system. And now I got to get that gum lid off of there, that fuel tank lid, filler cap, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so I'm going to get that off of there, and then we'll see where the day takes us. Let's just go with that. Alright, so you know old Big Mike never claimed to be the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I sometimes, every once in a while, figure some stuff out. Now, I tried getting this stupid lid off with the big pliers and the pipe wrench, but I didn't want to destroy the lid, because where am I going to find that one again? And the one thing that I finally found that I could get it loose with, because the pipe wrench wasn't working, none of that stuff was working. I put this little hose clamp around this sucker and took my hammer and started tapping on that dude. It's finally moving. Well, let's see. Look at that. All I had to do was get a hose clamp on that dude and tap on it until it come apart. Sometimes, I swear, if breathing was not an involuntary reflex, Alright, so here's one thing we're going to have to contend with on this filler neck. You notice the mouth of this dude, it's all rusted out. It's got the notch on this side, but not on this side. So, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to fix that yet, but rest assured, I will fix it. So, I think what I'm going to end up doing with this is next time I go to the parts reclamation facility, aka scrapyard, I'm going to just cut off a filler neck and then I'll just weld a new one on here. Anyway, so on to this. Now this is the part's a little more controversial. I use some pretty harsh stuff. Yeah, that right there with some paint thinner, and I just kind of mix it. I put on this dude. If you were with me last year when I was building the 51 Coronet, we had the same issue. If you think about it, what's that say? It says removes the toughest finishes. Finishes like varnish. What does gasoline turn into? Varnish. So we're going to get this stuff all coated up real good, let her set, and we'll start working on it and see if we can't get it moving. Alright, good news, bad news, good news. I don't know. Good news, bad news. Whatever. Anyway, so, yeah. Got that dude all freed up and working like it's supposed to. So, the bad news is, I was trying to get this little nut off the top, and I put the bolt buster to it. It worked. It busted the bolt. Oh, I busted the bolt. Anyway, so I gotta fix this. So how in the world am I gonna fix that? Well, old Big Mike, he's just kind of crazy like that. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably take my welder, and I'll just build that up, build that up, build that up, grind it off, and then with a threading tool and put a thread on it. Don't think I can do it? We'll see. Alrighty then. So, one thing about when you're doing stuff like this, you got to be real careful when you're welding on this. And what I do is I put my little wire welder on minimum. I put one little tab and then I dip it and cool it. And then one little tab and I dip it and cool it. Another one and dip it and cool it, because you don't want to burn up the electrical components in there, because no matter how little you think you're doing, that welder's hot. So anyway, that's just one of them little tips. And then I just took and got around. So now I'm going to thread it, at least attempt to, and see what we can do there. Okay, so I'm always trying to test out my skills and abilities and improve on them as I go. And also, I'm always going to be straight with you. If something works, great. If it don't work, it didn't work. So when I was trying to thread that, I kept running into the problem. The little stud I welded on wanted to break off. So just cleaned it up, started over. What I ended up doing, I took a little machine screw like this, and because it's got that little bevel on the head there, I put that down on there and I welded that on with the nut on it, and then I just cut it off there. So now we are back in business. And she is all free and all that. And like I said, I keep cooling that sucker off after every little zzz. I cool it off, because you do not want to burn up what makes it send the signal. So anyway, that part is done. So now we're going to move on to our next little thing. Well, all right then. Some days didn't get a whole lot accomplished again, but did get this fixed, both ends, and I got that little dude out of the fuel tank and cleaned it up. Ruh-roh. So yeah, I got my tank over here by the compressor. I took it outside and I beat around on the dent a bit. I got some of it out. It's not as bad as it was. I know it still ain't great. But I took that fitting off of here for the pickup. There's a pickup tube inside there, and I've been blowing air in there and shooting some of that loose juice in there. And anyway, I thought, well, you know what? I'm letting that set. I'm going to go ahead and try to start bleeding these brakes a little bit. So I broke out my old vacuum pump, and surprise, surprise, it don't want to work. So you know what that means? That makes me not want to work. So, yeah, it is what it is. It'll be better tomorrow, right? Sometimes you just got to know when to say when, and right now we're going to say when. So thanks for coming along with me. Do me a favor, if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and do so, if you don't mind. And give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever, for this one. And do me a favor, hit that notification bell so you see when my next video comes out, which will be tomorrow, because I'm just silly enough to be back out here. And until next time, y'all keep watching. I'm going to keep working.